Hello guys, in this video we'll learn how can we manage configurations in Rust. In previous videos on my YouTube channel we have been using .env to store our variables, secrets, configurations, but .env is limited when we require environment segregation, meaning different values of same variable in different environment, and it also lacks type safety. So in this video we'll learn how to store, retrieve and access our configurations in TOML file. We'll also learn environment-specific configurations, meaning same variable will have a different value in dev environment and a different value in production environment. And then we'll write the code to read and access those configurations. So let's begin. First of all, move to your Project Explorer and make sure you have a nice and clean Rust project. And then in your project, add a config dev.toml and a config prod.toml to specifically satisfy the environment specific configuration file that we will be adding, and move to your cargo toml file where we'll add a few dependencies. So we just need a couple of dependencies: Surday with version as latest and features as derive, and the second one we need is TOML with the latest version, and then we'll build or update our dependencies. Now let's move to config dev.toml. So let's say we have database credentials and username as dev db user. Then we have a timeout, let's say as 5000. And similarly, we have Kafka and user as Kafka user. Then we have brokers and broker 1 9092 and broker 2 at 9092, or let's give it localhost on local or dev, and topic as my QA topic. And then we have, let's say, logging, so level as debug, and then file path as var log my app log. Similarly, let's say we have service URLs to access other services. So let's say notification service http localhost 8081, let's say. Similarly, you can add more to this, but I'll just stick with these just to show you guys how configurations work. Maybe we can add a retry here, that it will retry for all service URLs 3 times here. You can add, let's say, another service, payment service, http localhost 3000. So now let's copy these, and for production, let's say all of these have a different value. So it's a prod user and we want to have a higher timeout, and let's say it's broker 1, this is broker 2, and my prod topic. And log levels on production, we want lowest level as info, and similarly notify dot service internal.com, something like that, or dot local, and https and payment dot service dot internal dot local, something like that. So it's accessing internally, and retry 3 times. So let's say decrease it to maybe 2 times. So this is how our configurations look like. Now move back to your Project Explorer, and in src add a config.rs where we'll write the code to read all the environment specific configuration that we have and access it for our application to use the credentials and access different services or connect to different DB. So let's begin. So first of all, we'll add a struct database, pub struct database config, and here we'll add derive, debug and deserialize. pub and username string. Similarly, pub timeout as u32, and we have these two in database. Then we have Kafka, so let's add Kafka. So pub struct Kafka config, and similarly derive, debug and deserialize. Pub user as string, and pub brokers as vector of string, and then we have pub topic as string. After Kafka we have logging, so let's add logging now. So pub struct logging config, and we'll just add pub level as string and pub file path as string. So let's add derive, debug and deserialize. Similarly, the next one that we have is service URLs. So even in future, let's say you decide to add more URLs or even more different config, let's say cache, then you have to add a struct in your code here. So let's add service URLs. So pub struct, or let's make it a more easy, service, or let's make it discovery, which is better name. Discovery config, and derive, debug and deserialize. So we have pub and notification service, a microservice that our service connects to. Similarly, we have payment service, and then we have is retry, u32. So we have all the config objects that we need, and finally we'll add a config. So pub struct config and derive, debug, deserialize. So pub database optional of database config, and any of the property that you feel is available in dev or maybe prod and not dev, you can make it optional here in your object or struct. So similarly, after that we have Kafka, so optional of Kafka config, and then we have logging, so optional of logging config, and then we have pub, the final one, that is discovery, so discovery and optional of discovery config. So this is all that we need. Now we'll just add an impl for this config struct and see how can we read environment specific config. So pub fn new self, and we'll just say config path, and we'll just say if cfg debug assertions println running in debug/dev mode. So we'll just access config dev.toml then, and if that's not the case, then we'll print running in release mode, that we often do only for production. So we'll just say config prod.toml, and then we'll try to get the content. So content fs read to string config path and unwrap or else, and error So we'll just print ln saying fail to read config file, print the error, and string new. So after that, we'll just say TOML that we add in our cargo TOML. So we'll just use this dependency from str and content dot unwrap or else and error. So in case we are not able to read, then we'll just say fail to parse config file, and we'll just print whatever we get and set the config with everything: database as none, Kafka as none, and JWT as, sorry, we have Kafka logging as none, and finally we have discovery as none. So this is all that we do here to read. Now remember, whenever adding a new config here, we don't need to do anything literally, just add a new struct and register that struct here. So let's say tomorrow we start adding caching, then we just add cache here and whatever the cache details we want for prod and dev, and then add a struct here, register your struct here. That's all. We don't need to make any changes while reading. Now let's see how can we access this in our main. When our application starts, how can we read these secrets and use it? So we'll just remove whatever we have and we'll just say let config new, and that will do all the reading part, and then we'll just do print ln. Let's first of all print all the config. So open the terminal, and first of all we'll just run as it is. So we'll just say cargo run quite. So as you can see, it prints all the config, and it clearly prints running in debug mode, and then it prints all the config, which is database and everything that we added in config dev.toml, as you can see. But similarly, if we run in release, as you can see, whatever it prints now is a release configuration, which is prod configuration, and it clearly prints running in release mode. So whenever you build your application in dev mode, it will pick whatever configuration you provide here, and when you do it in prod mode, it will pick whatever is here. So again, as you can see, it provides you the environment segregation as well. It's relatively difficult to achieve when using .env, or at times it's hard to achieve as your application grows. But here, as you can see, you don't need to do anything. It just automatically does it for you. And once you have your object in main, similarly you can access. So let's say I want to access a particular fields related to Kafka, or hold the Kafka, or let's say I want to access the Kafka topic that we are using, then we can just do this, and there you go, my prod topic. Similarly, we have, and we do this in the QA mode. As you can see, it prints the my QA topic. So in prod, my prod topic, as you see right here. So similarly, you can access, you can inject this in your application in different other service layer or different layers that where you want to use. And as you can see, you can safely access your fields as well. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you learned